Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Aaron Vanhook, and I'm here to show you my in the bag for the 2024 season. Before I start, I want to give Nolan over at FlyRite here in Cartersville, Georgia, a huge thank you for giving me a sponsor this year. Very excited for what the season has to come. I have my disc on the ground. I'm looking at them. I'm kind of just going to go through each section of what I throw. I'm going to start with my putters and work my way to my distance drivers. This year, I'm putting with the PA5s. These are in the 300 plastic. These are first runs. I love how these grip the chain. They're understable. For the way that I putt with a spin putt, these things go very straight, flip up to flat, and I can't say anything more about these. These things are amazing. Next, for my throwing putters, I have a couple discs here. Most of them are the same. I have another PA5. I have two more PA5s, I'm sorry. One in 750. This one is kind of more for just low power, hyzer, kind of like manipulate the shot. It'll kind of hold, kind of flip up to flat and just go dead straight. I can rely on this off the tee a lot. Then I have another one, and this is in the 300 soft. I will putt with these occasionally, but mainly I throw this for kind of more hit and stick on the green. So I'll use this one if I need something just to not have a lot of ground play. So I'll use those for that. And then I have two P Model S's. I use this one off the tee pad, backhand approach shots. These have a lot of glide. It has a little bit of stability left in it. It's pretty used, but I'll use that for a lot of my up shots, and then I'll use this one for outside the circle. This white one is pretty stable, so I know if I can rely on, if I need a hyzer putt outside the circle or get around an object, I know I can use this P Model S and it works wonders for me. Next, for my mid-ranges, I have two molds. My first one is a Prodigy M4. This one's kind of just more of a point and shoot. I can use this for any angle, and whatever angle I put it on, it'll hold it. This has a little bit of fight back, but this M4 is good for woods. It's good for the open shots, so I really enjoy this Prodigy M4. And then I also have two M3s. This M3 is kind of my flippy guy. I use this a lot in the woods for just hyzer flips, turnovers, anything you can think of. This mid-range is money. And then I have another M3. This is kind of more, I don't know if it was just this run or the color, I'm not sure, but this thing has a little bit of stability to it, so I can use this for kind of just power, overstable mid-range shots, or just kind of like light throws. It'll fly pretty stable, so I won't use this one too much unless I really need it. I don't really have an overstable mid-range in the bag this year. I kind of rely more on my Fairways for that shot, but this is another good mid-range. Kind of going from more understability to the overstability. I have an F7 in the bag. This thing is kind of my roller disc. I don't throw a lot of rollers, but if I had to, this would be the guy for it. I use this for big hyzers. I'll throw this on the most amount of, it's kind of more of a fun disc for me, but I do enjoy the F7. So rollers, big turnovers, hyzer flips, you name it. Another one is the Crave. I use this a lot. This one's really beat up. It's pretty, I would say it's more straight. I wouldn't say this is super understable for me. I can definitely get it to hold the line, but I kind of use this for medium power hyzer flips. It just holds the angle very well, and I enjoy it. Then my other disc is the Sphinx. This is kind of like, for me, just a big turnover disc. If I can't do a forehand on a certain shot, I know I can rely on this guy to do the work for me. Just when thrown flat, just goes dead straight and turns over. I can throw this on a big hyzer, it will flip up, and it'll just go up and just ride and start turning, and it'll pan for a long time before going to the ground. So this is a kind of like a distance driver for me as well. I guess it does say distance driver on it, but this is a really good disc. Going for more of my 7-speed, 8-speed slot, I carry two molds. In that respect, I have a Gavin Rathbun Evader. This one is kind of really straight. This one doesn't really want to be in the air too long. This one wants to get to the ground. Has a little bit of bite to it at the end, but this for most of the flight, it'll go dead straight. And then I have this Lucid Evader. This one is pretty overstable still. I've used this a lot. I had this in the bag last year. I use this a lot in the woods for like thumbers and kind of like a utility slot disc, but this thing still has a lot of bite to it. so I can rely on both of these to do the job that I need. And then I also have this Lotus. This is a forehand only for me. It's pretty board flat. It's got some torque for a backhand, pretty stable, but I use this for kind of manipulation on the angle for a forehand in the woods. And if I need to get through like a tight gap, I know I can rely on this Lotus. Going now towards probably my favorite slot in the bag is that overstable 9-speed. One disc that kind of really got me going and excited to play this season is the Raptor. When I first started playing disc golf about 4 or 5 years ago, I was a huge Paul Ulibarri fan, and the Raptor was one of the first discs in my bag. And I went away from it for a while to try out other stuff, but the Raptor to me is money. This is the ESP Flx for the wintertime here in North Georgia. It's really nice because I can rely on this to get the job done when it's really cold outside. This one is pretty stable, kind of on the more, I wouldn't even want to say understable side, but this right here, I'll use this kind of for more finesse flicks than power forehands. This one right here I'll kind of use for everything. I'll use this for big choppy forehand throws, flat. This thing is very overstable, has a lot of ground play, so I will bust this out if I need that shot for that overstability. If I need something to go a little bit longer, fly a little bit straighter, but still have that nice overstable stability, I'll throw this S-Blend Halo Roman. This thing goes very straight on a forehand. I might use this on a backhand, not particularly my shot for this disc, but I will use this Roman for a forehand shot. It goes pretty straight, has a nice fade. Going for my backhand distance drivers, I have a few molds. These two, one of these are going to be out of the bag. I'm just going through them right now. This is a Halo Swirly S, or I wouldn't say Halo, sorry, Swirly S Pharaoh. And I use this for tailwind shots. It's pretty understable. I've used the crap out of this disc because I've really been wanting to figure out for the D3, kind of gives me the same exact flight for my arm speed. I'm only pushing the disc right around maybe 400, 410 feet on a really good throw. So, but these are really good. They both flip up for me, so they're both in the bag for now because I'm still trying to figure it out. From stepping down from the Roman from earlier, this Aztec, this is pretty pop top for 10 speed. As you can hear that, I use this for just flat as I can possibly throw it. It turns a little bit, and then it'll kind of give me like an S curve flight, and I'll use this for wide open shots. Won't really reach for it too much in the woods, but this disc is really nice for just open backhand shots. And then I also have an X3 in the bag. This is probably going to be the disc I'm going to use the most this year. I really love the X3. I can manipulate this a lot. This one's a little bit more on the overstable side because it's brand new. So I'm going to be working with this a lot. The X3 surprisingly has become one of my favorite discs I've ever thrown in that 11 speed. It just has a really nice shallow feel to it. Feels great in the hand, and I probably have like 10 of them behind me here. So the X3 is just really good. Then I have, for more of my 12 speed, kind of like my distance drivers, I have 2 D2s in the bag. As you can see, a theme of Prodigy in the bag because I've really enjoyed Prodigy, throwing them this past 5 or 6 months, kind of getting used to the plastic. Never really thrown Prodigy that much, but now that I've thrown them fairly amount, I really enjoy the D2. This blank D2 right here is backhand friendly for me. It's not super overstable. I don't know if this was just some type of like misprint, but this thing is nice. I can throw it on a backhand, on a little bit of ante, let it flex out, and then have a nice little bite back. And then I'll use this pink one for more of the forehand style of that, just big choppy forehands, big pop top, and this thing is very overstable. I'll reach for this if I need anything for that big flex. And then I have a D1 in the bag. This was given to me by a friend. Shout out to Daniel Keefe. He gave me this D1. This thing is pretty beat up, but I can still rely on it for those big spike hyzers, really just nice forehand shots. It'll flex out and have a nice fade. honestly, this D1 feels great in the hand, so I'm really enjoying the D1. I have one other backup, but it's pretty overstable, so I'm going to be using this one as long as I possibly can. And then last but not least, I have a few discs in the utility slot. I guess I'll go for my putters, or my understable ones. I have another PA5. I didn't show this earlier because I strictly only use this for in the woods for understability, you know, kind of get out of jail free. This thing is so understable. This thing has hit plenty of trees, but I use this if I need to get like some type of understable shot to get out of the woods. And then I have a Blowfly. This disc is just funny to me, but I use this for hills, mountains, anything that I need to throw on an incline that just needs to hit the ground and stay where it hits. And this Blowfly has gotten me out of trouble a lot and saved me on some hill shots. And then my last disc I'm going to show you are slabs. These are basically maxes. I use these for just thumbers, over the head shots. I use these for big forehands. If there's a headwind, I'll use these a lot for just kind of getting out of jail. This is the Glow Seed Blend. I probably will reach for this one more. This one's kind of beat up, but I do enjoy the slab. So that is my bag, guys. I appreciate you guys watching and checking it out. And if you ever need a disc, go down to FlyRite here in Cartersville, Georgia, and get yourself some plastic.